Guys, welcome back. Today, I just want to talk to you about something that's near and dear to me. I was watching Six String TV. If you haven't watched him, check him out. He's pretty fantastic, really amusing. I guess I wanted to know your guys' opinion. Has Gibson innovated anything lately in the past, I don't know, 20 years? 30 years? Seems like all we ever see from him now is burst top Les Pauls or some strange paint job put over a burst top Les Paul that they messed up and now they call it a mod shop. They haven't really done much that I can think of. You got the same red, black SGs, the same black burst top, sunburst Les Paul. They're trying to do all kinds of other things, but they keep saying that they're going to innovate something for us, and I haven't seen it in a while. I mean, I have guitars that aren't innovative. I mean, like, hold on, let me. This 1990 Epiphone that's Korean made, but even it's not innovative. It's a Caller trim with a single and a humbucker. Oh, and a push pull tap. I mean, that's pretty innovative, I guess. It's technically just an Ibanez or a Kramer or any other super strat from the time back then. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing as we always see. Yes, it's fun to play. Yes, it's plays great, but it also is made in the Samick factory in Korea, so it's gonna play great. Like all the Korean Samick factory guitars, they're great guitars. They play fantastic. But even this wasn't innovative. I mean, even the double dot sides up right on the edge isn't that innovative. The headstock, I mean, that's pretty Kramer-esque if you ask me. That's a banana headstock. They're not doing anything. This doesn't happen anymore. We get Les Pauls with colored paint jobs, and they call them a custom or a custom shop. We get 59 VOSs for $6,000. That are they worth $6,000? They're not to me. We get SG's double neck the EDS 1275s for $3,000. We haven't really seen them do much in the form of anything. Or we get artist rendition models. Adam Jones Silverburst. We get the Slash model. We get all these other models that they're just the same thing. They're the same guitar that we've seen 70 times from Gibson. I haven't bought a Gibson in a long time, mainly because I don't see a point. First, I don't want my headstock popping off. I mean, I have stuff. Like if you want to get into innovation, here, let's go with this one. Here's a Charvel, made in Mexico by Fender, because they bought the brand Charvel. It looks like a Telecaster. It's got a cutout. It's got a real nice neck pocket. It's got an unfinished maple fretboard. It's got a Floyd Rose trim and two humbuckers. And this one's got a 5-way switch and some custom wiring in it, but this is more innovative than anything Gibson's done in 30 years. It's also more fun to play, and it doesn't weigh 20 pounds, and I don't think the headstock's going to pop off of it anytime soon. I think it's pretty well stuck there. We have that. Let's see, what else do I have hanging on the wall? I mean, if you're going for Les Paul-ish, wait, look at this. My 2010 Schecter Lao of the Dead, push-pull coil tap, two humbuckers, two pneumatic bridge, string-through body, 3-way switch. It's pretty much a Les Paul. Oh, it's made out of the same thing, too, like all Gibsons. Mahogany back, or a mahogany body, mahogany neck. It's got a maple cap on it. This one's got, obviously, this crazy graphic. This one's got a ebony fretboard. And that headstock that Gibson wanted to get angry about when it came to Schecter guitars. It's also, they did something different. They put a volute back here. You can see it. So that the headstock wouldn't pop off the guitar when you play it a little hard or something bumps it a little bit. And they gave it a cutout, which now, I guess now on the newer Gibsons, I just played a Les Paul the other day that has this tummy cut on it, which for Gibson, excuse me, that's pretty innovative. Because there's nothing more uncomfortable than a Les Paul sitting against you the whole time. It hurts. I have one. It's like 12 pounds of heavy hurt. So there is that, I guess. I'm also confused at why they're suing everyone all the time. Why sue Heritage Guitars? Other than they look too much like your guitar. I mean, Fender's not suing anybody over copies. I don't think they hardly ever have. Fender had one lawsuit against them in 1951, 50, when Gretsch kindly asked them, and it wasn't even a lawsuit, it was a kindly asked them to not use the broadcaster name for what is now the Telecaster. Gibson has even sued Activision over the likeness of their guitars in the video game Rock Band and for the Guitar Hero guitar that looks like a Les Paul. It's a piece of plastic. They obviously didn't win the case, but still, why even go there? They have also sued Funko Pop now for the likeness of their guitar on certain Funko Pop models, which I find ridiculous. Their reasoning behind it was that people would see it and possibly think that it was licensed by Gibson or it was Gibson, a part of the Gibson company brand thing with their help, and which is completely asinine if you ask me. Nobody's going to think that just because it has a Les Paul shaped guitar on it, it's a Les Paul or it's a Gibson branded product. Also, I don't see the point in suing all these companies like Paul Reed Smith for the single cut on a stage. You're going to know it's a PRS mainly because it's either going to have moons or birds down the fretboard. Something Gibson's never really changed on their fretboards ever, besides big blocks, parallelograms, or tiny little dots that look like crap. There's no innovation anymore, and I don't understand the prices that people are paying for Gibson. I mean, if you guys want to enlighten me, why? If you're a Gibson fan, it's your thing. I get it. I understand the whole vintage market thing. I just don't see the point of paying, I guess, $5,000 for a Norland model Les Paul ever, especially if it's a sandwiched body. When all of you cork sniffers that think Gibson is the best brand in the whole world are like, no, it's still Les Paul. It's a 1975 custom shop, or something like that. It's still a sandwich body with a maple neck on it. You're pretty much paying for something like this. There we go. Great guitar, fantastic sound, maple neck. Pretty much a sandwich body in this. It's alder, but it's like 4 or 5 layers of alder pressed together and sandwiched to make this guitar. So why pay $6,000 for something that has a Les Paul body? That's pretty much this. It doesn't make sense. I mean, to me, it makes no sense at all. Or we could go into this. This is a solid piece of alder for $200. P90s, volume and a tone, and a 3-way switch. It does what it's supposed to do, and it's got a maple neck with a rosewood fretboard. And it was $200, and it plays amazing. If you guys know what this is, leave me a comment down there, because it's a great guitar I'm going to feature later. So I don't understand why there's this crazy renaissance of people freaking out about Gibson. Plus, look at the quality control. I mean, there's guys all over YouTube now. Glenn Fricker's one of them. Bought a Gibson Dave Mustaine V. Paint's chipping off. It's peeling away. And it's not the first one I've seen. I've been in a lot of guitar stores lately, especially the one here in town. They have a Les Paul studio. It's got a big chip like right around the neck, and Gibson, they sent it back to have it refinished. It came back worse, and it's not good. It's not good at all. Just little things, fit and finish, man. This guitar has a better fit and finish than a $2,000 Gibson on it. I mean, the paint looks great on it. Yeah, it's older. It's got a few marks and dents from playing, but it's held up pretty good. The paint looks great. The hardware works like it's supposed to. It's not falling off the guitar. There's no cracks. There's no chipping in the paint. I just don't. I guess I don't get the 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 brand hype for somebody that isn't giving you anything new and isn't innovating anything at all. They're giving you the same product with a different paint job and calling it a mod guitar and selling it to you for $1,000 more than what it would have sold for, like a Les Paul Studio with some crazy. Here, just look at this one. Paint on it, or they're calling it a custom when it's obviously probably a guitar that they couldn't sell, and they went, well, we'll repaint it a different color and then we'll call it a custom. Like this one. It doesn't make sense to me at all anymore. So I know there's the Gibson guys out there. Please tell me why. Is it because you've idolized it from guys like Jimmy Page and Slash and all these other guys that use Gibson guitars, Angus Young, any of them, Buckethead. It doesn't matter. Whatever your band that you like, is that why, or is it because it's a status quo thing? It's I have a Gibson guitar, so I'm gonna look cool playing it on a stage, and it's gonna make me look like I'm a better player, or I'm confused. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't think I ever will. But I do want your guys' comments. I want to know why and what you guys think about it, and what you think of how Gibson lately has been or is going. Do you think here in 10 years Gibson's even going to be a formidable brand when we have brands like Fender doing Charvel and Jackson, and trying to innovate newer things like double humbucker Telecasters, or we have Ibanez on one end making shredder guitars, we have Schecter, we have Kesel, we have all these other companies coming out that are making just phenomenal instruments for half the price. Sometimes they're lower. That Charvel that I showed you, my Telecaster Charvel double hum Tele, Sandimas Pro, that's $1,000 guitar, and to be honest, it plays better than most Gibsons I've played in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I feel like they're doing you guys dirty, and it's not right, especially when they're coming out saying we're going to innovate, we're going to up quality control. That was the first thing out of the new CEO's mouth, and nothing has really changed. He looks like another one of those garage rock band dads that just wanted to own Gibson so that he could say, I own Gibson and we're going to do awesome things. They brought out an app that you can't really do anything besides tune a guitar with. If you need help with your guitar brand, it's only for Gibson and parent brands of Gibson, so Gibson, Kramer, Epiphone, stuff like that. I know I sound like I'm rambling now, but I'm getting it kind of upsets me that they portray this and tell you guys they're going to do this and do that and do this and do that, and they never do anything for you guys. I really, it's upsetting to me a little bit. I think they should be out there, trying to, help these guys that love this brand, like Fender does. Fender's coming out with all kinds of crazy stuff. The new set series, their player series is phenomenal. Their Squire parent brand is just making all kinds of crazy shit. The 40th anniversary Squires are incredible guitars with killer stuff on them. They're bringing out big block inlays on them, gold hardware, gold disc, pretty colors back. They're bringing back that blue, all this crazy shit with them. And Gibson's over here like, well, we're going to live on the Les Paul and the SG forever. Oh, we'll throw an ES 335 in there, and then if somebody makes another V, like let's say, I don't know, Jackson, or let's say somebody makes anything that looks kind of like a V, like Dean, poor Dean, they got raped on that subject. It's terrible. They just got taken to town for something that doesn't even look like any of Gibson's guitars. I mean, yeah, they made a V. Oh, big deal. They stole Dave Mustaine away from Dean to bring him to Gibson, and they gave him a fucking V. It's the same thing. I mean, he's playing the same fucking guitar with a worse neck on it and a shittier paint job. And then they come out with all these problems like, oh, well, now the ML looks too much like the Modern. Nobody can own a Modern. Have you ever seen one? Epiphone brought them out for a little bit, and then they were gone again. Gibson has only brought them out once and never sold any. Nobody wants it. Like, what is the Modern? It's not an ML. It doesn't look anything like a Dean ML. I guess if you shaved off one horn and then sanded it down in your garage and took a grinder to the fucking thing, yeah, maybe it does. But that's their thing. Oh, you can't use the headstock with the wing on it, with the double V headstock, because that's ours. Oh, a bookend headstock, we patent that shit. I'm actually quite happy that in the last few lawsuits, when they have tried to sue, like Paul Reed Smith over the single cut, the 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 judge and everything came back and said no, that's unwarranted because the Gibson Les Paul now, the Les Paul shape is it's just it's not even yours anymore. It's been copied so many times you just can't even use that as a thing. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm sorry for the rant video. It's been bugging the shit out of me lately, and you got guys like KDH doing stuff like the app. If you haven't watched KDH, watch his video on the Gibson app. It's pretty hilarious. His 6-string TV, I watch him all the time now. He's phenomenal. He did a video on Gibson a few months back. It's just great. Rhett Scholl, all those guys, check them out. Rick Beato. They've all done really killer videos on Gibson. It's just been bugging the shit out of me that Gibson just sits on this high horse of we're going to innovate and we're going to bring you better products, and all they do is they take the same product and redo it over and over again and put a different name on it. Oh, we'll put a bug on the back of the headstock and we'll call it an animal series, and the centipede, and we'll put some bright ass colors on it. I mean, it's nothing fucking new. It's all the same. Or we'll come back out with another burst top model and we'll call it a special VOS model. Bullshit. Or an Adam Jones special, which I'm a huge fan of Tool, don't get me wrong, but I think it's wrong paying 4 or 5 fucking grand for an Adam Jones special. The Epiphones, the art ones, they're freaking awesome. You can't touch them. People have swooped them up, and now they're asking 3 grand for an Epiphone Les Paul, for God's sake. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think, what your your outlook on Gibson is, or what you think is going to happen with Gibson guitars in the future. Are they gonna stick around because of all the boomers and all the big wigs that have to have the Gibson Les Paul to play in their shitty dad rock band in the garage so that the headstock blows off the minute it barely taps the corner of the ground or an amp cab? Or are they going to re-innovate themselves and come back out with something cool again like they have done before? Like the Epiphone Prophecy series was a fantastic way to look at that. Or what's going to happen? Let me know your comments. I want all the comments. I want the hate comments. I want the like comments. I want all that shit. You guys have seen a lot of the guitars in my room. I have a lot more. I have a Gibson. I have a Les Paul Haydn. I have a lot of Fenders. But mainly, I'm just pissed off that they just keep talking about innovation. Every time you see a Gibson ad, the new innovators. We are the iconic brand. Like, yes, but what are you doing? Nothing. So let me know your comment. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Please leave me a comment. Give me the hate and everything else. All right. Bye.